Episode 3, Day 3, Tuesday, Mars. Egypt, the Nile. Imam al-Mahdi, 909 to 934. The first leader of the Fatimids emerged from Dar al-Hijra in Salamiyya, established al-Mahdiyya. Imam al-Qaim, 934 to 946, leader through the siege of al-Mahdiyya. Imam al-Mansur, the victorious one, crushed the rebellion and founded al-Mansuriyya. Imam al-Mu'iz, 953 to 975, founded the city of Cairo, saw the Fatimid Empire grow glorious. Imam al-Aziz, 975 to 996, expanded Al-Azhar Mosque into mosque and university. Imam al-Hakim, renowned for establishing the Dar al-Hikmah, Academy of Wisdom. Imam al-Zahir, 1021 to 1036, restored the walls of Jerusalem destroyed by an earthquake. Imam al-Mustansir, 1036 to 1095, became Imam at the age of 7.
Did we hold still?
We did not. You can't give birth to a golden age, a renaissance of science, culture, politics, and spirit by concealing yourselves in a cave.
So it was that the household of al-Mahdi, the first leader of the Fatimids, emerged from Dar al-Hijra, a site of refuge in Salamiyya, and traveled for long days and nights, and even longer miles.
A map. Right. اليمن. رقادة قيروان and Sijil Masa. And a bit later on, Cairo. In a world of extraordinary occurrences, an extraordinary event occurred. This event we witnessed on a day almost as hot as today in Sijil Masa.
Imam al-Mahdi and his son al-Qaim sat under a tree. Later, Qaim went for a walk in the garden and happened upon a stream. Hardly a splash of water in it, but enough for him to gently cool his hands and face and let the little splashes of water gently soothe his feet.
And astonishing, extraordinary, as soon as his feet touched the water, it began to flow higher and faster.
Well, the gardener who had been watching Qaim shouted out in amazement.
Oh my God! The rightly guided one! He's right here, right in front of my eyes!
Away from all this, under the tree, the Imam couldn't see what was going on, so he asked who was shouting and why. Why should you so foolishly expose us to mortal danger by telling the whole world where we are?
Do you think he's a spy, Father? Asked Al-Qaim.
Wait, no, I'm no spy. At the spring just now, surely you saw what happened. All season long, there's not a drop of water in it. And then the rightly guided one comes into the garden, puts his feet in the stream, and I just saw with my own eyes the fulfillment of a prophecy.
If you saw this, the Imam told him, you should keep quiet and not risk our lives.
Oh, no, by God, if I could conceal you, my Lord, cover you with my eyelids, I would do it. Please, may I ask you for something? This garden belonged to my father and my grandfather, who inherited it from his ancestors. But recently, the governor seized it from my family. And now to stay alive, we have to work as laborers. Please, sire, I know you have the authority to return to me what is mine.
Inshallah, said the Imam.
And yes, Allah did will it. After the troops of Abu Abdillashi had defeated the governor, and Al-Mahdi spoke his oath of allegiance.
Alhamdulillah, God be praised,
said the Imam. You are a good man, one who has seen trouble and one who knows God.
Eva, Eva, lada, ladavi. Eva, Eva, lada, ladavi.
I return your garden to you, and not only that, but from now on all the gardens surrounding it belong to you and your family.
Sahib ji, tum more mana bhaave.
Only a poet, may I humbly state, could find the words to celebrate the Imam's majestic entrance into Al-Mahdiya.
The open sky needed a poet's voice, the smooth surface of the sands, and the sea beyond. Our sea now, the horizon calling to us, a call we answered with a great navy, all possible because we entered to build a city.
My congratulations, O generous prince, for your arrival upon which our epoch smile. The sanctuary is your camp in a noble land, prepared for you by glorious angels. The sanctuary and its precincts, its lofty shrines are exalted, and in the west is an exalted residence where prayer and fasting are accepted. It is Al-Mahdiya, sacred and protected. Your footsteps make the ground wherever they fall like the Maqam Ibrahim. Just as the pilgrim kissed the sacred corner, so do we kiss the walls of your palace. Through the course of time, an empire grows old. Its foundations crumble under the assault of time. But your empire, O Mahdi, will always be young. Time itself will serve it. The world belongs to you and your descendants, wherever you may be. It will always find an Imam in you.
Poetry is a beautiful thing, almost as beautiful as birdsong. We call it human song. But to us, it lacks the freedom of the songs we sing. We sing in the present moment. We live in the present moment, always the eternal present. Now there's some philosophy for you, but that's by the by. You were expecting the poet, and you got me. Why? Because I did something Something wonderful. Imam al-Mu'iz trusted his general Johar to lead the faithful into Egypt and make it their own. And outside the city of Fustat, Johar marked a great square. Johar relied on his astronomer to calculate to the second the ideal moment his faithful men should start digging the blessed soil to raise their blessed city. Ha! Clever, you humans!
You see this rope? This rope isn't just there to declare a boundary. See that bell attached to the ropes? When the astronomer sounds the bell, we can start building the city. I will wait for your signal. What? Who sounded the bell? Stop digging! Al-Qahir! Al-Qahir is in the ascendant, General. The red planet Mars. Not a bad start.
Yes, the red planet, Al-Qahir. Al-Qahira? Cairo. Ha! Clever, you humans!
The gate of conquest.
Bab al-Futuh.
The gate of victory.
Bab al-Nasr.
Bab al-Zuwayla.
اتحدوا بحبل الله جمعوا ولا تختلفوا اتحدوا بحبل الله جمعوا ولا تختلفوا. Hold on to the rope of Allah and be not divided amongst yourselves. Hold on to the rope of Allah.
Hold fast to the rope.
A rope, like a tasbih.
Yes,
A tasbih like a rope.
yes, but not a rope of this world, but of Noor.
Ya Ali, Ya Karim, Ya Ali, Ya Karim, Ya Ali, Ya Karim, Ya Ali, Ya Karim.
Inspiration.
Ali, Ya Karim, Ya Ali, Ya Karim, Ya Ali, Ya Karim, Ya Ali, Ya Karim.
Divine light.
Ya Ali, Ya Karim, Ya Ali, Ya Karim, Ya Ali, Ya Karim, Ya Ali, Ya Karim.
The line of the Imams neither changes nor can it be changed into another line.
A rope is a rope.
Sheer genius.
No, he's right. This rope is a rope like no other.
It glows with life,
It passes through time.
unchanged.
This Imam will depart and then this one arrive.
They die.
They go on living
Not here.
elsewhere, in bliss.
They disappear. Except for the rope of Imamah.
Yes, the Prophet said, I leave you with the book of God and with my descendants, so that you can hold fast and never lose your way when I'm gone.
And every descendant
And every Imam
takes much unto himself, just to move us from here.
to there,
But he is only one man in a rope of men,
divine light men,
of the rope,
a rope that leads all the way from Ali,
to Karim,
Hazar Imam,
and beyond.
And beyond.
And beyond.
And beyond that.
And the beyond, the beyond, the
Beyond
beyond.
that.
Beyond, 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 beyond.
Oh, it's beyond that.
And even beyond than that.
Oh, it's beyond more than that.
And more beyond than that.
It's beyond that.
So it is well that you should follow the Imam, for the light of God is within his pure heart.
Through that light you will be freed from darkness.
Follow that light, and may peace be with you. Dar al-Hikmah.
Academy of Wisdom.
In Cairo, if it is known, it can be made known to you. You only need ask. Here, you can ask a jurist about the law,
Guilty.
an astronomer about the cosmos,
Milky Way.
a philosopher about ideas,
No, nothing.
or simply ask a librarian for a book.
Overdue! You'd be amazed what you find in here. Imam al-Moyes asked me for a book. I couldn't find it. Next thing I know, the Imam himself is looking in this shelf, and in that shelf, and in all the shelves. It was evening when he was looking. He began to leaf through each page of every book that fell into his hands, captivated by passages in this book, and in that book, and in all of the books. He just stood there, reading, never got tired. He was in his own world, so I left him to it. Midnight, I come back, and he's right there where I had left him, still reading. He looked at me, blinked his eyes. "I'm in a library," he says. "Why, you are," I said. "What book did I come in here for?" "Well, all of them," I said.
We make ideas into words so that they may be passed from one person to another. We make words into books. But how do we form the letters that form the words that combine into an idea that are passed from one person to another?
With a plume.
With a plume.
A pen.
A pen, that's right. A fountain of ink for a fountain of words, which all came into being because of Imam al-Muiz, his inspiration.
Yes, but before him you had to dip. Write a word or two and dip into the ink. Write a word or two and dip into the ink. Write a word or two and dip into the ink. Between all those dippings, a man can forget what he wants to write.
We wish, said Imam al-Muiz, to construct a pen with which one may write without dipping into the inkwell.
How did he do that?
It's not impossible.
Of course it is not impossible. It has been done.
The ink must be contained inside the pen itself. And when a person wishes to write, he dips his pen into the ink and writes to his heart's content. And when he wishes to stop, he empties out the ink and the pen is dry.
We have cartridges now.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
Kon fayakon!
"If God wills it, it will work," declared Imam al-Muiz.
A craftsman received these instructions and sent up, sent down, sent up, sent down. He delivers the first fountain pen, beautiful, all gold, for the Imam.
Did it work?
And how? Well, at first try, it did splurt think around a little bit. So the Imam instructed his staff to improve the design. And a few more sun-ups and sundowns later, success!
It was a pen the Imam could rotate in his hand, tilt in any direction, and all except for the tiny drop of ink on the tip of the nib, the ink stayed inside the pen.
And many more books have been written since then. An institution grew as knowledge grew. And as knowledge grew, an institution grew and became Al-Azhar, one of the first universities on the face of this earth.
A session of wisdom.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
teacher.
Good morning, students.
Sir, what's our lesson today?
Sir?
Our lesson, sir?
Shall we recite?
Well, we have a lesson today?
Did we do anything wrong, sir?
Why is there no lesson today, sir?
Will we have a lesson today?
Today's lesson. Did you see the sunrise?
Yes.
Yes.
I did.
I saw it.
How do you know?
I remember it.
It baked my skin.
Yes, the heat.
It made me thirsty.
Did you look at it to make sure it was there?
You get blinded if you look at the sun.
Still, you know it's there. By its heat, by its light. God is a blinding light.
How do you know God is there?
By his heat and light.
Through his Imam. Just as the moon reflects the light of the sun, so the Imam reflects the light of Allah.
But sometimes you can't see the moon.
When?
When it's cloudy.
When it's daytime.
When it's new.
Yes, my boy. The new moon and the pitch black sky. So how do you know the moon is there? Because you know the moon is a part of nature. And it is the nature of the moon to appear for a time in different forms.
Full moon.
Half moon.
Quarter moon.
And disappear altogether. Sometimes you cannot see the moon, but it is always there. The same is true of the Imam, but he is always there. He may not be seen sometimes, but he is part of nature. He is always there. The Imam is always with you.
A great moment. A holy and historic moment. Look, my brother poet, Nasa Khusro. I contemplate this event, and sometimes I think it is the city, Cairo itself, initiating him.
Then I rose from my place and started on a journey, abandoning without regret my house, my garden, those whom I was accustomed to see, from the Persian, the Arab, the Indian, the Turk, from everyone. Very often, I had to spend nights sleeping on hard stones with no roof over my head except the clouds. Carrying my belongings on my shoulders, a beast of burden. I passed through countries where frozen water was as hard as marble, through countries where the earth was as hot as embers. In this way did I wander from town to town. And then came the day when I arrived at the gate of the city which resembled a garden full of fruit and flowers, the city in which the learned are dressed in brocade, the city in which when I arrived, my reason told me, here it is what thou shouldst seek for what thou needst. Do not pass through it in a haste. And I went before the warden of the gate, and I told him what I was after.
Cease worrying. The jewel has been found in the mine. Beneath the ideas of this world, there lies an ocean of truth, in which are found precious pearls, as well as pure water, Ab Safa. This is the highest heaven of the exalted stars. Nay, 'tis paradise itself, full of the most captivating beauties.
But my soul is weak and frail.
Do not worry, son. I'm here to heal thee. Tell me all, describe the pain.
And I began to ask him. I asked about the all-powerful, predestination, and fate. I asked of the mechanism of the palpitation of day and night. When I mentioned all these questions, the wise one lifted his hand, touching with it his breast.
I shall give thee medicine, tried and tested, but I have to affix a strong seal on thy mouth. Nari Ali, Ali, 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 Nari Ali.
My suffering disappeared. My speech became free. My yellowed face became scarlet through joy. He raised me from dust to the sky as a ruby. Oh, praise be to the one who has freed me, my teacher, the healer of my soul. Wherever I may be for the rest of my days, always I shall use my pen, paper, and inkstand only to express my gratitude to thee. So long as cypress trees sway in the blows of the breeze, let the presence of the Imam be adorned by thee as the garden is adorned by cypress trees.
On the morning when the Imam emerges from his palace for the ceremony, 10,000 men parade by the 100, preceded by bugles, drums, and clarions, followed by army battalions.
Insignia of authority. The ceremonial sword of the Imam was gilded and studded with jewels.
Pen and inkstand, made of gold, ornamented in precious stones.
2 standards of praise.
2 lances with crescents of gold.
نصر من الله ففتح قريب.
Help from God and victory near at hand.
No other rider accompanies the Imam. The custom here is to prostrate. and to say a prayer as the Imam passes.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
After the Imam comes the Grand Vizier with the Chief Justice and a large contingent of religious and government officials.
Luminaries of the Ismaili world.
Qadi al-Numan, Judge of Judges.
Al-Muayyad fi ad-Din Shirazi, Da'i, a teacher who preaches.
Hamid ad-Din Kirmani, philosopher.
Abu Yaqub al-Sajistani, philosopher.
Nasir Khusro, poet.
Jafar bin Mansur al-Yemen, esoterist.
Over the commander of the faithful hovers a cloud, which opens up to give shade to his diadem. Allah is the light of the heavens and earth. Light upon light.